Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You, and by Burns & Scallow Roofing and Real Estate, dedicated to improving the profitability and sustainability of our clients. Visit our website to learn about the power of two. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, we're on location in downtown Pittsburgh outside the former Lord & Taylor department store to find out what PNC has in store. We're also going to meet a local couple that's raising the bar for nutrition bars for dancers, and the concierge at the Fairmont who's winning international recognition for the quality of customer service. But first, the big plans that are underway at an old department store in downtown Pittsburgh. Gary Saulson is Executive Vice President and Director of Corporate Real Estate at PNC. And welcome. Good to see you again.
Thank you. It's great seeing you.
Yeah, thanks for hosting us and giving a peek inside the construction site across the street.
We're very excited about it. It's a building that was designed in 1924 by the same architect that did the New York Stock Exchange and a number of other fairly famous buildings around the country. It's a building that's sat empty for a long, long time, and we're happy to find a use for it and to bring 800 employees into the core of downtown Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and these employees are working over in the U.S. Steel Tower now?
Yeah, most of them have been working in the U.S. Steel Tower, and that's a lease that we signed almost 15 years ago. So if we were to stay there, we would have to renovate the space. We're able to put our employees in brand new space at 500 Smithfield, which is what we're calling this building, while at the same time reducing our occupancy expense and hopefully improving the quality of life for our employees.
Well, it's a great location in downtown Pittsburgh, right across the street from the famous Macy's, formerly Kaufman's Clock. It's where all roads have met in downtown Pittsburgh for many, many years.
Right, and it's also very close to our campus and the new tower at PNC Plaza that we're building. And to bring 800 employees into the heart of Pittsburgh with great public transportation and other amenities, we think is a very positive thing both for PNC and for the city of Pittsburgh.
You know, this building, when it was the original Mellon Bank flagship branch, was one of the great public spaces in downtown Pittsburgh. How much of that are you going to be able to preserve or bring back to life in some way?
Well, it was actually so well known that Fortune magazine did a 2-page spread with a photograph just of the banking hall. And unfortunately, when it was purchased by Lord & Taylor and they put in 4 floors of retail, they took out that great banking hall. We, however, have tried to respect both the architectural significance of the building and the history of the building, and we're reusing as many of the artifacts as we can in the building, either as artwork or actually in their original state, but with tweaks to bring them into the current century. So an example of that would be the old lanterns, which we're having turned into LED lamps, which will be sprinkled throughout the building.
So keeping the old lighting fixture, but now making them 21st century.
Yes, and as another example would be check writing desks that we're having converted into conference room tables.
That's great. And it looks like you've opened the windows back up again.
Well, most department stores don't have any views to the outside. It's one of the things that department stores and casinos share in common. And because of that, there was drywall over literally every window. We're opening up the windows by taking off the drywall, and it will really not only provide a tremendous amount of light to the building, but also bring the city into the building.
You know, PNC's got more than a decade's experience now in building LEED certified and green buildings. When you do something like this, is this a green thing to do?
Well, we think that renovating an existing building is the most green thing you could do if you need office space, and we need office space. So this will actually be LEED certified under LEED for commercial interiors, while at the same time we don't intend to change any of the architectural significance of the building. So the sign on the night deposit box that says Mellon Bank will still say Mellon Bank.
You're going to keep the Mellon, yes, some of the Mellon signage inside?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to do nothing to change the exterior of the building, and we're going to honor both the history and the historical significance of the building. We actually think that this might be one of the largest historic renovations in Pittsburgh history,
really?
If not the largest. And it will certainly be the largest green historic renovation.
Is that great? Isn't an old building like this really tough when it comes to energy costs?
Actually, Lord & Taylor had no heat. They had very inefficient lighting in the building, which produced a lot of heat, and the combination between the heat that their customers and employees produced and the heat from the inefficient lighting really heated the building. We're putting in LED lighting, we're replacing all the heating and cooling in the building, and really bringing it up to speed. But they had invested almost $30 million in the infrastructure of the building when they purchased it.
So they had put $30 million into it. Seriously.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how big an investment is this going to be for PNC?
It's a sizable investment for PNC, but at the same time, our occupancy cost is going down significantly from where it was at USX.
So seriously, the move will actually wind up saving the shareholders
We're saving money and providing what we think is a better work environment for our employees.
Well, we've talked before about the upfront investment in greening buildings and going for energy efficiency. If you're a buy and invest and hold kind of a building owner, this ultimately more than pays for itself.
We really don't do anything that doesn't have a payback. So we look at a lot of things, and the things that don't make economic sense, we don't do. I mean, at the end of the day, we're a financial institution, and every investment we make has to stand on its own financially.
And are you finding that as you've greened more and more buildings, built new ones, retrofitted old ones, that the economics just make the case for themselves?
Yes. As a matter of fact, with our energy costs alone, we'll be taking over 30% out of our energy spend over a 10-year period.
30% out of the energy spend in all the real estate. That's remarkable. So what's the timing? It looks like you got a lot of work left to do there. The sidewalks are still closed.
You know, one of the nice things about buying a vacant building is we can work double shifts without interfering with people's work. And so we're doing that, and we anticipate we'll be moving in either late October or early November of this year.
Oh, really, that quickly?
So we're only a few months away.
Well, it's really exciting. Great to see. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Another great asset for downtown Pittsburgh. Gary Saulson. Appreciate it. Next up, raising the bar for nutrition bars in the ballet business. Stay with us.